Hello, welcome to day 2 of the Spark Change Challenge, and day 2, and I have already hit my first stumbling block, but that is okay. The whole point of this challenge is that it's a challenge. If this stuff came naturally or easily to me, it would not be a challenge, and there would be no point in doing any of this. The point of these videos is to let you know how I'm going, what's been working and what hasn't been working, and hopefully some of my musings might help you to figure out some aspects of your self-care that you could be improving, and if not, is maybe some what not to do. I forgot to introduce myself properly yesterday, so I should probably do that. My name, for those who don't know me, I'm Danielle Graber. I'm a clinical psychologist and an animal assisted therapist, and I am the founder and director of 12 Point Psychology in Ferntree Gully and Bayswater. Also of Therapeutic Tools of the Trade, which is a professional development program or series that provides training to mental health professionals in particular. I think there's over 30 hours worth of webinars and trainings and things up on the website now under Tools of the Trade and 12 Points Training. And as I've been doing that, the thing that comes up again and again and again is we're very good at trying to stay abreast of the latest professional development, the latest training, the latest evidence-based treatment for OCD or GAD or whatever it might be. But we still, as a group, not terribly good at caring for ourselves as well as we care for our clients and our patients. And me in particular, I am uh, constant struggle of that one. I experienced some pretty significant burnout a couple of years ago and did this deep dive into creating the integrative self-care approach and the non-sexy self-care approach, and that was really effective for a while. But like anything else, you stop doing it and it stops working. So this challenge is all about getting me back on track as well, and because I am given to those same self-sacrificing tendencies as every other therapist I've ever encountered, really, they it seemed the way to kind of trick my head into allowing me to focus on myself was to make it not just about me, but about sharing this with everybody else, and hopefully inspiring some other people to kick up their own self-care game in ways that isn't going to add to the mental load. So today's focus was physical health and body care, and that is always a bit of a challenge for me. If we look at the basics in terms of diet, sleep, exercise, I have a lot of um, health problems that have made exercise in particular quite challenging over the last couple of years. At the moment, I have, torn cartilage in my ankle, and I'm actually supposed to be resting it, which, there's not. I mean, I suppose I could hop, but I don't think that would be terribly helpful for my body overall. So, finding something that I'm physically capable of doing can be quite tricky, and eating around the whole bunch of dietary restrictions that I have can be interesting at times as well. And sleep is just, quite frankly, my sleep is appalling. Partly because of some high dose steroids I was on for a while back. That triggered off some pretty significant insomnia, and I never quite got fully back on track. So I set myself the challenge last night of going to bed at midnight. That did not happen. I went to bed at about 4 a.m., which is a bit more normal for me, and which is not ideal at all. But where the challenge has been helpful is, as soon as I started beating myself up for going to bed so late, I corrected and went, wait, no, wait. That's not kindness. That's not nurturance. When we get up to that K in Spark, it's all about treating ourselves with respect. I know how I got myself into this state. I know how this problem started, and I know a lot of what's maintaining it. And it's going to be an ongoing struggle. It was cute that I thought I could fix it in one night or make such a substantial change in one night. But my challenge for tonight will be to be in bed by 2 a.m. So we will see how that goes. I will let you know tomorrow if that was successful or not. But I think for me, if I can manage my sleep a little bit better, that's going to be a massive change, a massive and significant positive change to my physical health care for sure. So yeah, that didn't work terribly well. Um, when Jackie did the sleep webinar for us last month, the month before, she spoke a lot about the fact that I think most people are aware of those circadian rhythms that we have, peaks and troughs in things like cortisol and adrenaline throughout the day and the night. And one of the things that happens as you're heading to sleep, or heading into the evening when most people traditionally are asleep, unless you are me, um, you get that drop in cortisol and adrenaline. And I think what a lot of people are finding is it's the one time of day where they feel actually kind of relaxed, where they are feeling less stressed and can actually have a bit of me time without people, without kids or partners or work or whatever it might be, sort of distracting them and taking them away from it. They can watch their trashy TV, which 100% that's definitely for that. They can doom scroll all they like without anybody interrupting or asking questions. They can read a book. And so I think sleep is becoming more of an issue for a lot of us. And it'll be interesting to see if I can make any significant headway with that one throughout this month of challenges. But in terms of positives, I did remember to eat lunch today. Again, what I've been doing is printing out my daily um, reminders and prompts of the things to kind of be thinking about, because it's not about adding in. I wasn't going to try and squeeze in a yoga class in between my clients today, because that's not going to be sustainable. That's not something on a full client day. I'm not going to be able to get out, do some yoga, come back and see my clients in the kind of time that I realistically have. So having these prompts around is more just about reminding myself, as it did today, that okay, I had 3 back to back, and then a bit of a break. So I should have some lunch, and then I had another 3, and was noticing that I was starting to get quite stiff and sore. Surprise, surprise. So I went, I should do a couple of stretches just while I'm waiting for Zoom to kick in with the next one. I'm just going to do a couple of quick stretches before I get onto that next session. Um, uh, I used my little fancy aromatherapy room spray in between another session, and literally just while I was exiting out of Zoom, sprayed it, deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, into the next one. Another challenge for me down the track will be I'm pretty good at doing the 50-minute sessions with clients and having that sort of 10-minute break in between client sessions. I'm terrible with my supervisees. I tend to, if anything, go over a bit with them. So I think I might have to do a bit of tough love on myself there and start finishing my supervision sessions that little bit earlier as well. So I have a bit more time to get up, go for a walk, grab a drink, that kind of thing. All of those types of things. Again, we're not adding in anything extra to the day. This little room spray sits there all the time. I hadn't used it in, I'm going to say, months. It just didn't occur to me. It just wasn't kind of registering. But that small, literally 30-second break to spray, have a deep breath in, letting it out. I felt so much better afterwards. Um, Being able to, yeah, just get up and sort of, stretch my neck a little bit. And if my physiotherapist is watching this, I was doing the proper stretches, I promise. Um, it's all of these things. I just want you thinking about these little ways that you can take what you're already doing and add that kind of self-care twist, or add that self-care flair, I suppose, Oh, there we go. Self-care flair. I like that. um, Noticing something like uh, I'm beating myself up for not getting to sleep last night. Well, that's not terribly nurturing or kind to that inner child. How about I just go, well, what was the barrier to that? In truth, part of the barrier to that was I was queuing up all of the emails and stuff for this challenge, which is all level of irony. Um, but well, I've done that now, so that barrier won't be in the way. What can I do this evening to try and, all right, maybe midnight was pushing it a bit. What about 2 a.m.? Can we make it to 2 a.m.? Uh, it was noticing that that I hadn't had the chance to move much that day, and getting up and having a little bit of movement. I should say as well, with these lives, because I'm doing them on my desktop, I can see when people are viewing and reacting, thank you, and I can see when you're commenting. I just can't read them, so I will read and respond to any comments afterwards. And tomorrow I might switch to doing this on my phone instead, so I can actually see them as they come in. So yeah, not I'm not trying to say, I really don't want you to look at this self-care challenge as, oh my God, I've got to add something else into my day. I've got to think about one more thing. It's just thinking about what you're already doing, but in a slightly different way. That's really the shift and the challenge that I'm setting for myself, and that I hope that that some of you guys might take on board as well. So I hope that's been an interesting little insight for you. Tomorrow's focus is all on achievement and accomplishment. And well, if I get to bed by 2 a.m., that would be a massive achievement and accomplishment. So it will just be about noticing that, giving myself that pat on the back, and we'll see how we go. So look forward to chatting with you tomorrow, and have a good evening. Bye.